Welcome, everybody, to the X8 VRML NA postseason. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I am your sole conductor in today's journey into the tippity top of the X8 ecosystem. The best players in X8 duking it out against each other. We have AESIR versus Eternity in this double elimination winners bracket. For those of you that don't know what all this means and why we're here this afternoon, let me explain. We've had 11 weeks of regular season gameplay where these teams have competed in a regular season, meaning that each week they went up against a team that was automatically match made for them. They battled against that team. If they won, they went up in rank. If they lost, they go down in rank. We have the top 8 teams then from that regular season of 11 weeks played now battling up against each other in a double elimination bracket. This double elimination bracket started last weekend, where teams played in the first round and either won or lost. The losers went down into the losers bracket, where we had 2 teams eliminated from the tournament last weekend. The winners went on to the winners bracket. That's what we're tuning into here today, and what we'll be tuning into this weekend, Saturday and Sunday for North America. We'll be doing more of the winners and losers bracket of this double elimination tournament until we have 2 teams that will advance on to play live at VRML Con, their grand finals on stage July 20th and 21st, where you can buy tickets right now to the event if you go to vrml.com/vrmlcon or vrmlcon.com. That'll get you to that link where you can find info to buy tickets, get a reservation for the hotel that we've got a deal with locally that expires the 25th. So you want to make sure you jump in on that deal if you have the opportunity, and enjoy what is going to be a spectacular live finals for North America. I'm really looking forward to seeing who is going to come out on top through this X8 postseason. And both of these teams are, quite frankly, on my list of squads that I anticipate to make it through. If we look at the match history between these two teams, you can see Eternity actually the only team to defeat AESIR all season long, beating them 17-14. So we could be in store for quite an exciting matchup this afternoon, a rematch for AESIR, the first time they've ever had an opportunity to go up against Eternity again since the regular season. And so, since their loss at least. Very much looking forward to this battle. I think a lot of people are within the X8 community just because it is 2 of the top teams. And if you look at these squads, they come from more than just X8. They come from what is a diverse roster that goes across Breachers, Veil, XA. I think some of these players are in Onward. There's a lot of at least the organizations have expanded across VRML as a whole, and it's really interesting to see both AESIR and Eternity. AESIR winning first place for Breachers just a few weekends ago, and Eternity getting third in that Breachers event. So I'm curious if there's a bit of a rivalry here in X8, despite being obviously a very different game. Trying to get info for our lobby this afternoon, because we should be getting into AESIR and Eternity within the next few minutes. As they are getting ready and jumping into lobby, we should be again queuing up into our first round shortly. So I do appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out, and waiting for the start of this matchup, because again, it is going to be an exciting one. And at the very least, we do have an opportunity to shout out our sponsors, including Third Verse, contributing in $1,000 into the cash prize pool, on top of supporting the VRML and flying out the North American finalists to play live on stage for VRML Con. It's a tremendous opportunity that's only possible because of the support of our sponsors, and so we really do appreciate everything that they do offer, and majorly for the support for VRML Con this year. So big shout out to Third Verse for coming in and developing X8 as well. A fantastic game that we've been enjoying on the VRML platform. It's been fun to watch these series, especially with these top teams. The use of utility, abilities, and ultimates is spectacular, and I can't wait to get into more of that this afternoon as we do just, again, wait for lobby details. Hopefully I didn't get it times wrong, or I didn't have any I thought. Yeah, I was pretty sure they were playing today. I don't think I have that wrong. So I am just waiting to hear info, and there we go. Okay, I thought I was going crazy. They were late on providing me the details, so we do apologize for that. Please be patient while we jump into lobby, and again, should be diving into our first round shortly. Another quick look up at the matchup history to give us a perspective on the success rate on particular maps. You're seeing here Depot, the standout for Eternity, but the worst map for AESIR. Maybe that can play into what maps are going to be chosen here this afternoon in this best of three, which is what we are diving into. Regular season, we have had best of threes, and typically I think we would not play the third round out. So that's the same way here. If this team wins in 2, then they've won the series, and that series will be done with. So yeah, we are just, again, I'm just doing on my end the technical side of things, and I should be into the lobby soon, and we should be able to give these players the go-ahead for round 1 shortly. So again, a shout out to everyone stopping by. I'm curious to see where our first map is going to take us, and I do believe it's AESIR's map pick, so it seems like we will be going to Bedrock for map 1. Based on these stats, definitely AESIR's preference. I've given the players the ready up, but we do have a light amount of attendees here this afternoon in the lobby, so it may be a few more minutes before both squads are ready for our series. I'm debating if we go to a break, because it could be roughly about 10 minutes before we do get everyone in lobby, unless we do have a ready and waiting. Oh, there we go. We're starting to populate. I think I can vamp for long enough. Bedrock map 1, 86% win rate for AESIR. Eternity, 56%. So should be a pretty good back and forth on our opener. Neo Yakuza. No, Depot is definitely where we're going. That or Midtown for map 2 from Eternity. Midtown doesn't necessarily give them a huge advantage, considering that AESIR are 10-1. They have such high win rates on all these maps that if we are just going off percentages, I imagine Depot's the one of the maps they lost. I bet Depot and Midtown are the 2 maps that they've lost to Eternity when they had their only loss. Interesting. Curious to see what hero picks we get. I think we're going to see the standard stuff from both teams. They do have their preferred heroes, where they like to go, roles they like to run, aggressors, defenders, that sort of thing. So I am interested to see who is going to be that point man. Mind Baker, I think, usually is that for the likes of Eternity. If I remember correctly, Air Knight was a standout shooter yesterday or last weekend on AESIR's side in their 2-0 win in the first round last weekend. So yeah, very interested to see what these two are going to be bringing to the table today. And we got a bit of some highlights here from the last weekend, Polaroids and Heaven's Garden series. That was a great one. To the point, I guess, the loser of this series will go up against the winner of Rakuzen and Express. So they go up against Rakuzen, who won in that Rakuzen versus Express series, and I think that was a forfeit. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rakuzen come out in that losers bracket round 2, with the opportunity of progressing through the losers bracket for a chance to be one of 2 teams that gets flown out to play live at VRML Con. It's a tremendous opportunity that's at the fingertips of some of these players. I know that AESIR wants to make it in multiple games. I don't think they did it. I didn't know they didn't do it in Vale. They did it in Breachers. They're looking to do it here in X8. I'm trying to remember who our Vale qualifiers were. I can't remember. to the point that all of the qualifiers matter because all of these leagues are playing their finals out live on stage at VRMLCon. X8 will be there, but on top of that, we have Veil, Onward, and Breachers all playing out finals on stage. So it's going to be a pretty awesome showcase of VRML and VRFPS esports in general. We've got a Pavlov 1v1 booth that'll be live pretty much the entire event, and a bunch of other stuff planned. Merch, our design looks sick for this year. I'm really excited with the shirts that we're going to be putting out for VRMLCon 2024. So you're going to want to bring some cash to pick those up. I think we'll be able to do card at the event too. But yeah, you're going to want to be ready to grab some shirts at the con because those are going to be exclusive, obviously, to the convention. And yeah, I don't know. It's shaping up to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get into that point where we know who everyone is and we can start creating content around these teams and generating stuff. I mean, the prep in my mind is only just beginning at this point, but it has been 9 months of planning for VRMLCon 2024, at least, to be honest. So a big effort, and it's going to be a big event that I'm very much looking forward to. And again, you can get tickets by going to vrmlcon.com or vrml.com/vrmlcon. I think sometimes vrmlcon.com is a little slow on the redirect, but if you go to vrml.com/vrmlcon, it will go there quickly. So either or, it'll get you to that landing page, and you can dive in and get all the info you need about the schedule, where people will be playing, and all of that. It's all in the same venue, so you'll know where. But yeah, the schedule is up there, and all the details. You can buy tickets and all of that. We are still waiting for AESIR to get in and ready for map number 1. Scheduled time was about 10 minutes ago, so they have, I believe, 15 until you have to call a timeout. So we'll see if it ends up burning a timeout from Eternity, from AESIR. That certainly wouldn't be how you want to start your winner's bracket performance against a team that has beat you in the past. We'll have to see. I think I have stalled long enough, though, and I will cut us to a bit of a break. And when we come back, we have one more player to join. Chat, what do I do? Folks at home, what do you think? Quick ad break, and we come back for map 1, or do we just hang on, hoping that this 5th player jumps in soon? They should, based again on the time. I don't think they want to be using a timeout either. So map 1 should be starting soon. Again, I appreciate everyone stopping by and waiting patiently for the start of this series, because I know it's going to be a stellar back and forth. And yeah, I'm seeing in chat, Hotline is last. Hotline is coming, and that's an interesting prediction because it is currently Hotline out of the active grouping right now. They're not in this lobby, to the point. And so if they are coming and they are last, then they will hopefully be in lobby soon, and I will have stalled long enough for us to just go into round 1 without a commercial break. But how long Hotline will take, who knows? I'm going to cut to break. We'll come right into round 1, map 1, off of commercial break, so don't go anywhere. Map 1 in this series starting soon.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Torpedo again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Mitchell is right on top.
If there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy, can get to the EMP inside.
Sleeper's gonna shoot him.
Oh my God!
No, it's about 5, 4, 3. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' as kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Well, we can finally start thanks to Hotline joining into this lobby and AESIR having the 5 they need to play this game. Was worried for a second there as we literally got up to the final minute, the 15-minute mark for a team to either start, down a player, or use one of their 2 timeouts they have in this best of 3. And, well, we'll just say it's down to the wire. As we now are connecting in to our first map of the afternoon, which is going to take us on to Bedrock to open this series up. We have on the attacking side AESIR, on the defending side Eternity. And we get ready to dive into our first map of this series on Bedrock. A reminder for those tuning in, this is a best of 3, and this is the winner's bracket. So the loser here is not, their season isn't over. They're not out of the tournament. They are getting knocked down into the loser's bracket, but they will still have another chance to compete next, Sunday of this weekend. Ooh, nice opener for Bent as we send them diving forward. Ace picking up some early kills as well. Blade is quickly left alone, and Eternity absolutely picks apart AESIR on their opening set. 5 alive, nobody goes down. That's one way to overwhelm the attacking half, and well, it might take a little bit for AESIR to warm up, considering Hotline just jumped in, just threw the headset on in time to get into this lobby. That could indeed be a factor. And I do think think I've seen Red typically run on this character. Interesting. I think they're on different characters than they were last weekend. Air Knight isn't. The Ace is. And I'll do my best to follow the action. It's hard. Oh, and a swing out, knife in hand. Tries to use the static to slow him down, but a nice pickup there from, what was that? Dynamite, I believe. Oh, and Red on the inside finds one with the Deagle. Can't pick up a second as Bent scoops him up. Blade now in a 1v3, rotating around to the outside. Can't quite catch, or does find Mindbaker. A nice swing from Bent. Wraps up the round and gets that final kill. Dynamite was also collapsing. Good coordination from Eternity here this afternoon. They've come to play on map 1. And again, this is definitely Eternity's map. Or no, this is AESIR. Yo, this is AESIR's map. Bedrock is AESIR's map. They have a much higher win percentage on this map than Eternity do over the course of the regular season. Could really be maybe even the first time AESIR's being challenged a little bit on Bedrock here, but defender half, attacker half, we'll see. They really only need 1 or 2 rounds on the attacking half to put up a clean defensive side, so could come down to that. Meanwhile, on the opposite end, the trio, a 3-2 split, trying to divide and conquer this Eternity defense.
You're mine.
And a full team push coming in from AESIR here. Finally, they have the advantage on that early kill lead. The Dart going to come out, get some good info, but not enough to deny anti-contextual. Red does find Dynamite on that swing. Anti-context still here, and up over the top. Red finds another. Anti-context swinging out on the wide. Red picks up a third. Mindbaker goes down, and anti-context sprinting up through the middle, trying to get the angles. Red picks up a 4th for a quadra kill on the round. That's one way to lock in a round for AESIR. The big clutch play coming in as Red goes 5-2. Putting some points on the board off of a big round 3 performance. And like I said, maybe it takes 1 or 2 on the attacking side, but that was big from Red. Definitely a good, definitely a good way back into this series. And we are going to see an ult coming in from Hotline as they try and dash forward, getting up right up into the face of this defense. They'll find one on the backside, a swing out. Coming in from Blade, they get hit in the back. Their ult allows them to be restored. The aggression there warranted then, and they're able to fly back with the rest of the team, clear out this site and push in. The retake coming in from Bent and anti-contextual, and a really nice dome there, denying vision but exposing the ankles. Gonna make it very hard for Bent to make their way through. They do prop the ult, and they realize they're running into static. They couldn't see that static, and a beautiful kill there. Anti-contextual now alone. And a 1v4 on the wrong site was scanned down. Looks like they may end up ecoing here, holding on to their rifle. And this could be very well going to a 2-2 first half here. This series, well, the matchup history doesn't lie on where they were playing Season 1. 17-14 the last time they played each other. In Eternity 1, AESIR otherwise would have been undefeated over the course of the regular season if they had not had that one loss to Eternity. They were undefeated in Vale. They never lost an entire game the entire season and through the postseason, as they are qualified through Vale. They were, I think, defeated once in Breachers, but I think that was overruled because there was some rule was broken there. So I think they actually didn't get that loss, and I think they were technically undefeated in Breachers. It might have been a tie on their record, so I think it was 10-0-1. And so it's, again, the brand of AESIR permeates across just the entirety of VRML, the entirety of VR esports, and to see Eternity challenging as well as they are across all of those different games also is pretty dang impressive. Onboard Hotline now as they find the ace swinging out. A little bit too slow though. Hotline has a great angle. Dashes forward. Tries to spring onto the corner of Benton. Finds that kill. The turret doing a bit of damage to him there. And now the third, no, doesn't get scooped up. Dynamite here goes down to Blade, and we're left with Air Knight, Blade, and Red as Air Knight rotates into more fire. A nice bit of a dome there to deny vision on the cross. The ult has come out onto site just in case anyone was in the area. It doesn't catch any damage though, and so we still do have the duo of Mindbaker and Anti-Context alive and defending. 50 seconds left. Siphon in the hands.
Siphon planted.
Yeah, one of the attackers at the very least, and they've got that Siphon down now. A site rotation getting prompted here. A little nade toss there to zone out any rotations that are coming in. It's a little too early as we do see this swing coming in from Anti-Context. But time is ticking. 30 or so seconds left for this team to retake, and I actually don't think they're going to. I think it's another eco from Eternity. They're going to hold on to their weapons, hold on to their cash. If they try and push, they could go down. And actually, I do wonder if Red is far enough away. Yeah, they rotate off as the site goes down. They may actually catch a kill here. Whoa, both players just taking shots as the round ends and snaps them back away from each other. And AESIR are in the lead. Let me update the scoreboard there, as this is map 1 in this best of 3. Let's take a quick look at chat. Yeah, some surprise in AESIR's initial opening, but like I said, I do think it maybe really was just them getting warmed up, getting their controllers loose. Hotline certainly here to play. As our camera not even able to keep up with their speed flying through here. Going to be barreling up over the top. Finds Bent down. Anti-Context finds one kill onto Solo, but the entirety of this team is here on A site. They'll be getting that Siphon down? No. Nobody had the Siphon on A. Wow. So it is going to come down to this B site push where the Siphon wielder is, or a rotation back over to A, which does seem to maybe be what's in store. And Anti-Context going to try and do the best with what they have in a 1v4. Probably not a lot of utility left to work with.
Siphon planted.
Ooh, and giving away their position by having to get rid of a turret put down quite a bit ago when they were rotating. And another eco is coming in. Anti-Context will not be challenging this Siphon. Either that or they're going to be looking for one pick onto Air Knight, but Air Knight is here on the corner ready and waiting. And as they vault over, Anti-Context exposes themselves. Here comes the rotation from the rest of the team. Utility coming out. Anti-Context catches one. Dart doesn't find any details. Nice zoning there from Bent, and uh-oh. Looks like a player down on Eternity as we get into the last round in the half. Another drop from AESIR. Quickly reconnect. That seems to be what's happening here. We're just getting a quick drop and reconnect in between these buy rounds. Hopefully not too impactful of technical issues here, but two players going down is not ideal. Last round of the half, though, before we swap sides and reset economies. And AESIR is going to be starting a 4v5 regardless of if their fifth reconnects or not. They won't come in alive because the round has started. They'll come in dead, to my understanding. So definitely a disadvantage to AESIR. Like I said, Air Knight comes back dead. With a nice pickup, the first. No, just an ult. And down they go as Ace finds that kill. We'll have to do our best to get the bug fix in to stop moving the camera on kill. That isn't me moving away from the action, I guarantee you that. That is a casting client hiccup that we'll have sorted hopefully by the weekend. We'll see. Hotline trying to get some frags on the board. They need a couple of kills to say the least. Mindbaker on the short corner will shut that down though, and it leaves Solo alone in a 1v4. Air Knight trying to reconnect into lobby before this next round starts, and they have. So ideally, AESIR will be going into a full 5v5 when we reset sides. But it's a round into Eternity's hands. Siphon will not go down before it's defused, and yeah, solid bit of a bounce back for Eternity.
Defenders win.
Both teams suffering from a disconnect that round, so you know you could argue that DC didn't impact that outcome too much, but you know, losing a player either way is tough. We swap sides, and we don't adjust anything on the UI side. The teams just swap sides. Their colors stay the same. The side of the scoreboard they're on stays the same, but they do change sides. And AESIR go on the defense while Eternity go on the attack for the next 7 rounds. It is 4-3 as we'll update the score on map 1. And a big shout out to everyone stopping by and enjoying the action today. It has been, well, a pretty dang good opener to say the least. AESIR and Eternity delivering to what is that multi-game rivalry. Continues to be a good series between the two teams here. Ult's coming in. Static emitters going down to deny vision, deny the cross. Here comes another ult. Doesn't catch Solo, who is tucked in. Up over the top, though, they do find the kills. The swing in from Bent doing some good work. There's the ult over the top from Red that doesn't connect. And as the dome goes down to deny vision, Bent is going to peek out looking for the pistol shots over the top. The flank coming in slowly but surely from the back side.
Kill confirmed.
And Ace and Blade trade back and forth. Up over the top, Hotline catches one, and Red finds the Ace on the bottom floor. Siphon gets interrupted, and AESIR defends successfully on the pistol opener. They'll go 5-3.
Defenders win.
And edge closer and closer to being our map 1 champs.
Bye phase.
Nice hold. Coming in there from the AESIR squad, a good rotation. That dome in particular denying a lot of vision on the rotation out from AESIR, allowing them to get out around that corner without suffering too much damage. Could have been hit by a Red ult. You know, there's risk there if you stack too hard on a corner swing. I think Red might have been dead though, so you know, it depends on what information you have, what you know about what abilities have been used already. Does look like a B site push though. That turret doing a lot of good info gathering, and a big swing from Mindbaker. A headshot over the top, looking for the reconnect from Ace on the backside. Can't find it. Dynamite does push up. They'll go down. Ace and Mindbaker both getting picked up. Any context being sniped by Blade, and now Dynamite and Bent are alone in a 2v4. As Dynamite tries to rotate off and tuck in, Bent's going to challenge. Does not connect for that double kill or even single kill on that corner and has to drop back as well with the rest of the team. Bent and Dynamite, I imagine, going to be tucking in, trying to survive this round. Bent has to worry about the flank from Solo, though. Well timed. Will catch them out, and now Dynamite's alone in a 1v4, but they may be able to get the Siphon down, which I do believe gives them extra cash into their pockets, so a worthwhile rotation that is going to end up at least benefiting this Eternity team some degree if Dynamite can't clutch this pistol hold. 1v4, mind you, but they do have a 1v1 coming up in front of them. Oh, unfortunately, Blade with the P90. A little more firepower there. Heals will come in. Air Knight and the rest of the team will arrive to site. Scanner will be interrupted, and another round into AESIR's hands. Another round closer to a map victory and taking us to that series point in this winner's bracket. Both of these teams won through their first round in this tournament. Eternity, I don't think we talked about it much, ended up beating Heaven's Garden, who we did see on the replays here, who has qualified through the first round of the loser's bracket against Polaroids in a great series that we watched on Sunday. They won't be going up against Heaven's Garden again unless they lose here, beat Rakuzan, and then they'll face Heaven's Garden again in the loser's bracket for a chance at, again, qualifying through to be one of two teams that makes it to play the finals live on stage at VRML Con 2024 in Denver, Colorado, July 20th and 21st. Get your tickets now. Bent finds Blade. Solo swings out looking for the pick. Oh, and a great zoning nade there. Catches some damage, but Bent gets over-aggressive trying to pursue that kill. A nice frag on the backside from Solo as Mindbaker picks up Air Knight. Dome comes down to deny vision, allow the Siphon to go down. And everyone's going to tuck in, except for over on the corner here. Hotline, the ace, going to be swinging. Does not find Red. Solo no longer is Solo as they connect for a 2v4 pinch and push onto this site. What utility is left? Are they going to extend up here? No, actually, they're going to drop back. A full retreat from Red and Solo. We saw this from Eternity several rounds, where they tucked in, held onto their rifles, carried them through to the next round. The reason they're making this choice likely because they don't have any abilities or utility left to push. No zoning, no AoE, nothing like that. No dome shield or anything like that to deny vision. And instead, it's better to hold on to their rifles, save some extra money in this round, and then end up being able to buy more of their abilities, stuff like that. It's all economic management at the end of the day, which a lot of, I think, every FPS except for Onward has. That'll be at VRMLCon. All of these, you know, so it's a familiar concept of economy management. Here we go. Start. Into our next round. 6-4, map 1, Eternity trying to claw their way back into things here. Hotline doesn't find much in a slow roll for Eternity out the gate. Nice pick from Air Knight as they push out. They find the entirety of this team. Solo finds another hotline, picks up Mindbagger trying to swing around, and AESIR picks apart Eternity, collapsing around them from multiple angles and leaves Dynamite alone. And a 1v5. The entirety of this team pushing in on them. Red finds the kill. and nobody goes down onto AESIR. 7-4 heading into match point with a dominant win like that definitely sets up their economy into a good space. It's why we very likely saw them ecoing the round before and not diving into that 2v4 push, and ultimately their economy management seems to be on point. It's giving them what they need in order to battle back against Eternity, and that was a great read on Eternity. This is AESIR's map, so the fact that Eternity even are fighting as well as they are is impressive to me. You look at that matchup win rate on Bedrock, it's pretty dang high for AESIR with an 86% win rate. We're already into it as Dynamite finds Hotline. Ults come out and a nice swing. Blade catches one, Red on the refrag. The push out from the ace, they'll find Blade. And Aeronite and Solo are all that's left, but they are not here on site.
Siphon planted.
Solo is going to be pushing Solo. They'll go down as Ace finds those shots. On the edge, Dynamite catches the kill, and Aeronite goes down. AESIR not able to lock in the final point of this round.
Bye phase.
And I actually have to tweak the scores there. I had an additional incorrect point. It's 5-7. Map 1 Eternity are scraping their way to a potential tie here, 7-7. Be interesting to go into overtime. I don't think I've ever had that happen in a cast yet, so I'm not sure what the protocol is for that. For us tuning in, but well, it could happen. At this rate, we aren't very far off. And as soon as Ace tries to get quick, Hotline does the same. Both collide and Blade. Finding a refrag. Trying to pick apart the edge there. Bent with a key kill. Shuts Blade down. And it's up to Aeronite and Red as Bent doesn't pick up that kill. They were there, though, for the fight. Mindbaker is the one that finds it. Red goes down, and Bent continues their push out through the denial of vision. Good zoning. Trying to push off Aeronite, but Aeronite with a really nice headshot there. Now a 2v3. AESIR 3 kills away. Not letting in easy on this one as Ace finds another kill, and now Aeronite alone in a 1v3 to clutch up this map. Oh, gets hit super hard on the peak there. Really nice job from Eternity. Yeah, and the best choices for Aeronite to eco. They cannot get this round. 13 is going to go into their hands. It's going to be 6-7. Eternity are trying to push this to a 7-7 map 1.
Attackers win.
And like I said, based off of win percentage, map history,
Match point.
this is a win already for Eternity, even if they do come out of a loss on this map, if AESIR win this next round. But AESIR was the best they were 2 rounds ago. They were in the best shape they could have been off of that round win, the eco before it. Right now, their economy, not in great shape. You can see they have very little there on Red's half, 150 left. In comparison, 2,000 on Eternity's half. A lot more to be spent on abilities from Eternity's side. The swing comes in, there's that ult. Gets quickly utilized, gets information. On the backside, another swing out onto Aeronite. Not ready for the push here. Has to throw up the dome shield, and lots of utility getting prompted out here. Nothing connecting on the ult overhead. Great push out from Eternity. They're taking this 7-7. Unless Hotline and Solo pull off a miraculous 1v5. Ace is confident on their swings. They know right where Hotline is on that corner peak. Standard spot. That leaves Solo alone. Solo in a 1v5. The most solo they could be all series, quite frankly. I don't think there's much of a hope for AESIR in taking this. We are close to heading to a tie as Solo has 8 HP left. Finally, Dynamite picks them up, and map 1 ties us 7-7. We go to overtime. for round 15. We will have a winner. I don't think it's win by 2. I'm pretty sure it's 1. I know Vale is 9-8. Oh, no, I think it's 1. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity of casting a tie. I don't think I've ever gone to overtime in an X8 match. So, postseason delivering on the unexpected already. Love to see it.
Start.
I'm sure chat will let me know how things go. Ult coming in from Mindmaker means they can extend up with the option of rezzing back on where they pulled that ult, but it's a limited time, and they don't find anything off of that. No information gathered. Nobody here. Aeronite finds a kill instead. And AESIR finally have a kill lead for the first time in a long time. It has been Eternity finding the early picks, connecting on the utility, but here, when it matters most, AESIR get that siphon planted, a great push onto site. They trade down kills, and it's only Dynamite left on the back corner, who catches Red. Can they get the double? Onto Aeronite, they need the triple. That's the problem, and Blade will shut them down with full HP, and
Match point.
it is by 2.
Bye phase.
It's by 2, and my scoreboard isn't even built for it. It's never happened before. We've never gone into overtime with X8, and it happens in the postseason. It's win by 2, so eventually we will have a champion for map 1. But we're into round 16. Tracking Dart comes out, and it's not a... Oh, did we swap? Yeah, we did swap sides. I just realized that AESIR's on defense now as Eternity attack. Ooh, and Ben catches one, opening it up for Eternity. It is just 1, though, and that's what they really need to do. They need to minimize the damage, catch themselves a pick, get this thing back to a 4v4. The problem is that's not going to happen with Solo alone on site. AESIR reading Eternity to go to A. Instead, they went to B. And now it's Red Blade and Hotline trying to figure out what they're going to do on this round. An unfortunate disconnect coming in from Eternity again. The scanner finally going to go down. Siphon does go down. Blade catches one. On the backside, though, another. Blade swings for the second.
Siphon planted.
Backup restored.
And the backup restored to the corner, but Ace was ready and waiting. We continue on to round 17. Tied 8-8. No clear winner in sight yet. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We're getting into the double digits, and Ace has broken 20. Getting over the 2-0 mark, and I guess if you have extra rounds to do it, it's certainly possible, but I don't think I've ever seen 20 kills in a cast yet, but I've also never seen 17 rounds in a cast yet, so there's a lot of firsts going on right now. I've seen some folks in chat. This one's close, a good game. Yep, we're in for it here. These two actually battling it out the best of their capacity. We swap sides again. AESIR attack, Eternity defend. And it looks like the Ace trying to crash over towards A for what would be a flank if the whole team wasn't here right in front of them. Instead, it's a charge into this opposing AESIR offense. But it's information that's been gathered now, and you can see a bit of rotating coming in, reinforcement onto that site. Oh, and a great turret that comes up and identifies anti-context's position. Great swing from Red to find the early kill, and finally a kill lead, but a really good refrag from Bent to get right back in as they quickly drop back off of that kill to take it to a 4-4. And just like I had said earlier, they need to chip away. Great dash from Hotline to try and get info, but they'll go down. Bent picks up a double. A defensive hold for Eternity if they can just find 2 more kills, Blade and Solo. As Blade is fighting for their life, they'll go down to the ace, and Solo will get the siphon down. Full health, full armor, 1v3. Oh, Mindbaker completely caught off guard. Info there to work with, but they weren't ready for ace over the top corner there. Distracted for the swing on Aeronite. Eternity will interrupt the siphon. Oh, and I think they're waiting for as long as they can for their fifth to reconnect. They're trying to buy as much time
Match point.
for the reconnect before the start of this round.
Siphon secured.
And they make it. They're back in time. I don't know how your economy is managed when you reconnect into a game like that. I imagine it pulls from a history of what it's been, but either that or it resets you to ground to stage to
Start.
0, but who knows? Oh, and despite the nice utility toss from Hotline, Ace was there just a touch earlier. Gun up, ready to go. So is the case for Solo. As the Ace trying to lock in this map 1 for Eternity. Blade battles back with a kill. Needed that one desperately onto Ace. They've been a huge killer for this team. 24 and 10. To have them gone is definitely a big shooter eliminated. Good ult coming in. Gonna allow them to push up. Nice smoke. There's the swing from Red. They catch 1, looking for more. Catch 2, looking for 3 as the ult's procced, and we have a 2v2 now. Full HP from Dynamite as they fly forward. Find Blade and AESIR are bouncing back with a great attack, a great, defensive hold. Dynamite stays alive. 1v1. Siphon's still down. Dynamite has to interrupt. Red has 5 HP. What a final round if Eternity can lock this in. As Red starts to interrupt, they prompt the peek. The fight over the top, and Dynamite wins it. Eternity take a map win against AESIR to open up this series. The only team to beat AESIR, and now they lead. On AESIR's map, no less. We look at that again, the matchup history, the stats show that this map leads into the AESIR favor in a big way. And so for Eternity to be able to lock in this first map is, I think, big is an understatement. This is a massive upset in the X8 ecosystem. AESIR getting knocked into the losers bracket is the last thing that I had anticipated this afternoon, but we are a map away from that being a reality with how Eternity have started this. Ace in particular, absolutely a standout shooter. And just getting info for our second map of the afternoon, because I am curious on where it's going to take us. But while we are here, off of a fantastic opening map, a shout out to Third Verse for sponsoring the VRML, providing us with $1,000 in cash to the prize pool, and flying out the top 2 North American finalists to play live on stage at VRMLCon July 20th and 21st. A tremendous opportunity that these teams are competing for right now. The loser here gets knocked down to the losers bracket, so their season's not done with. But it is still a tense moment for both teams, because the thought of that cash prize pool and a trip to Denver, Colorado are very much prevalent in their minds. I have info for our next lobby. And, oh, that's unfortunate. That can actually... So we are going to be adding a new rule to every single league next season, where if you chat in a match that if you go into chat and type in a match that type in chat when you are actually in that match playing, you will get AP and be punished with AP points. And so you could lead to a ban on your account for typing in a chat that you are playing in the game of. because we run delays. We run a 3-minute delay. And so when players come in and type in chat before the series finishes, you are spoiling the outcome to every single person that's been watching for the last 45 minutes to an hour. It's an unfortunate reality, but please, if you're a player, do not type in chat. It's that easy. If you're playing in the game, don't type in chat. It's a consistent problem that we have across every league, and I don't know why players cannot understand it. We constantly announce it. We tell people not to do it. We tell them you'll be punished if you do it, and people still consistently type in chat when they're playing in a game. And so now I'm making it public here. If you don't know, don't type in chat from now on for any of these series, because that was a tremendous back and forth into extra innings that we did not want to have spoiled, and I think some people very upset that just was. So, again, it's very easy. If you're playing in the game, don't type in the chat. That simple. That simple. You're appreciated. We all love to see you. You can appreciate folks after the game's done. But, yeah. Anyway, that's my rant. As I'm just as upset about that as anyone else being spoiled. And we'll get ready for map 2 here, as both of these teams get ready to dive into our second map of the afternoon. Quick shout out again to everyone stopping by, because we really do appreciate y'all hanging out here. And a quick shout out to everyone patiently waiting for our second map, because man, what a starting series. Map 1 on well, let me update that. Bedrock. Here's a groundbreak. Bedrock. Going the way of Eternity. I don't have the ability to show how many rounds it was, the 10-8 scoreline that it was. But yeah, it's a heck of an opener and an unexpected result, to say the least. You look at the matchup history, maybe it's not that unexpected, because Eternity is the only team that's ever beaten AESIR all season long. AESIR went 10-1, and the only time that they lost all season long, 11 weeks of regular season gameplay, was against Eternity. If there ever was a rival for this AESIR team in X8, it is this Eternity squad. And we're seeing that rivalry unfurled to the fullest. AESIR, feeling the pressure, is going to call a timeout. So we will be going to a brief break, about 10 minutes, so maybe not that brief. But we are going to be going to a 10-minute break, and when we come back, it'll be the start of map number 2 between AESIR and Eternity, a series you are not going to want to miss. Map 2 coming up in just 10 minutes from now, so don't go anywhere. More X8 coming up.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' as kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catching 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Willis right on top. What is this?
And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy can get to the EMP inside. Two
Wait,
fires.
try to shoot him.
Oh my God! No! It's a last 5, 4, 3.
ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for map number 2 of this series between these two teams, Eternity and AESIR. Eternity ranked 4 versus AESIR ranked number 1. Going 10-0, losing to Eternity 8-6. Actually 10-8 map 1. We went to extras. Map 2 taking us to Depot, which, if you look at the match history, is definitely a map that favors the likes of Eternity on the win percentage rate. How much these win percentage rates matter, who knows? But we are diving into the action here this afternoon as Depot kicks us off for map number 2. And again, what an incredible series this has been. The winner's bracket of this double elimination top 8 series, delivering beyond my expectations. The first time we've ever gone into extra rounds. The first time I've had the opportunity of watching these teams battle it out against each other. And now, as we have AESIR start on defense and Eternity on the attack, Eternity are staring at a potential for a series win and an advancement on through the winner's bracket. You really want to be in the winner's bracket because it's going to minimize how many games you have to play overall in order to qualify as one of 2 teams to get flown out to VRML Con. And so that's what's really at stake this afternoon. Avoiding the elimination bracket, avoiding having to play for your life and being knocked out of contention for that second place. Eternity fully extending out as a squad, not connecting. Bit of utility used there too, and interesting, maybe even bait over towards that B site, but still no information gained on either end, and so it is very much just a guessing game of where this offense is coming through and where the defense is, because the defense is constantly rotating, trying to figure out where this team is, and Blade finally finds anti-context for an early kill down onto the Eternity side. We'll win another fight here. Don't want to lose a second, but the double swing makes it a 1-for-1. Another kill on the backside on the A site. Put this into a 2v3, and then Hotline suddenly alone. In a 1v3. Siphon's going down, and on the pistol round has to challenge a 1v2. Definitely not ideal. And takes a big hit there. The other swinging from their right side. They're getting hit. They're getting pinched. There's a big headshot. Looking for more over the top. Can't find it. Not going to be ready for this flank, though. And they spin for the connection onto Mindbaker off of a huge double kill. The 1v1 for Hotline. Trying to clutch this up for AESIR in map 2 of our opening round. Siphon down, Hotline looking, doesn't see. Dynamite in the corner, and Hotline clutches it. They'll have enough time to interrupt this Siphon, and a massive 1v3 for Hotline. Let's take a look at that replay on the double kill. The spin here is unbelievable to connect on that headshot and pick up a second one right after that. Or no, that was the second one. The third following. Yeah, they started it with a headshot over the top onto Bent. What a round from Hotline, who's now 4-0 off of that opening salvo on the pistol half.
Start.
If you are just tuning in, Eternity is our map 1 champion, 10-8. We're representing it here with an 8-6 scoreline. And right now we're into map 1, or map 2 rather, with AESIR up 1-0. Oh, a great snipe from Blade. Another down for Eternity. Having a hard time on these early attacking rounds, but we saw AESIR go down 2-0 last map and then come back rather aggressively. So it's all possible in these early rounds. Red finds the kill.
Bye phase.
2 points quickly into the pocket for AESIR. You got to be careful with a team like this. Do not want them to run away with momentum. It's a squad that, again, permeates across VRML as a whole, with AESIR being really a team filled with players familiar with playing at the high level, familiar with playing at that #1 seed. They just kind of have to settle into the rhythm of regular season where they did find, I guess, success, and maybe they need to do a little bit better than regular season, come to think of it, considering their loss to this team in the regular season. That's a fantastic rematch, to say the least, as Map 1 has delivered, and now we'll see what we get with Map 2. Great zoning there. Ooh, and a good bit of damage. Half HP onto anti-context from that zoning nade. Wall comes up, allowing this rotation to come through, and Hotline catching 2. Good smoke that ultimately Red can't find their target through, and a good swing from Mindbaker. Gets rid of a Solo on site. And as Red flies down, they'll find anti-context. They'll have the rest of the support of their team coming in. They'll look for more, and they won't find it. As Mindmaker picks up a kill, and another from Hotline to make a 3 left alive defensive win for AESIR, a 3-0 lead in Map 2, and a great bounce back from a rough loss in overtime in Map 1. Very interesting to think when we look at that regular season history, when we look at their experience on these maps. This is Eternity's best and AESIR's worst. See what we get. Back into it for round number 4 of Map 2. Pulling a great opener. Hotline connecting. Eternity being absolutely overwhelmed by the aggression of this Hotline offense. The long range coming in from Blade as they've caught some snipes. Anti-context trying to find some kills over the top. And finally we go on board. Hotline, who swings around, determined, actually the one to catch it. Hotline finds the refrag. Everyone's down on Eternity's side, and it's a 4-point lead as AESIR dominate the defensive half here. 4-0 out the gate. Getting closer and closer to the end of this half, and the side swap, and AESIR getting closer and closer to pushing us to a Map 3. I got my first Map 3, I think, last weekend. With XA. I think every match I had the opportunity of casting. No, I cast one best of 3. I think it was the first series I ever cast was the best of 3.
Start.
But we got some good best of 3s last weekend, and we could have another one on our hands here. An amazing rivalry between these two teams. That ends up in a 1-for-1. 0 for 2. Wow, Solo picking up a double and then being able to retreat. Ult coming out here, zoning this team off as Ace does catch one, pushes into the ult. Maybe it was their ult that they threw down there then. As Ace gets picked up off of the backside bent. Pushing in. Dynamite gets half health. 4v2. The pressure is on, and the push coming in. Solo getting a good static to slow them down and drawing the attention away from themselves as they can swing out onto Dynamite. 5-0. AESIR awoken off of a Map 1 loss in overtime. And again, a shout out to all the folks that are stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the X8 action today. Good opener. Almost a good refrag on the Mindbaker, getting a little bit over aggressive. The rest of this team barreling forward into an ult. That came in from Blade. A nice utility piece around the toss. Doesn't connect. Blade will go down in a 1-for-1. Up over the top as Red finds the kill on the Mindbaker, and AESIR still maintain a 3-2 lead, but just barely on the kill feed.
Siphon planted.
Red trying to make their way up here. Gonna use the ult to get that zoning, and they'll catch Red. Bent finds one. Bent finds two. Solo's alone, just like that, off of a double kill from Bent. Oh, wow. 1v1. Siphon almost down. They're not going to be ready for this tucked-in rotation from Bent. And finally, Eternity get one on the board just before we go to the final round of the half and swap sides.
Bye phase.
They're here, though, and like I said, when we swap sides, that could mean everything for Eternity. I don't know how Depot leans offense or defensive sided, but it very well could be that the defense gets that sort of favor in terms of typical scoreline on this map, and if that's the case, then when a side swap comes, there'll be an opportunity for Eternity to bounce back.
Start.
Even now, to get two on the board is definitely the opportunity. Maybe even a misdirect coming in as a nice bit of zoning done there. Solo is here, puts down a late static emitter that catches one, but the duo is there. The three-player squad up. As soon as the... oh, what a great bit of denial of vision there. As soon as it goes down, the Siphon's been planted. Everyone tucks in. A great ult zoning off Hotline from peeking that corner. Another kill over the top onto Red. And AESIR getting picked apart on a really good offensive push in here. As in comes Determined Fear. Finding one. Sight is vulnerable. Push coming in over the top, and that was an ult from Blade. They'll be able to respawn. Challenge again onto the corner, just like Determined Fear is a risky challenge nonetheless, and, well, Determined has to win this one. Can't. And off of kills, Eternity will win the round. The Siphon would have gone off as well, but that's two. With the side swap, we could see Eternity clawing their way back into this map, back into this series, and maybe denying us a third map in this best of three, quite frankly. We do have, I am noticing now, Air Knight in chat, but not in game. So I was very explicit about that. They were subbed out.
Start.
Interesting note there. Throw up the scoreboard real quick. So we get into round 8. Ooh, Blade catching an early kill. The site's getting pushed. It's going to come down to Mindbaker being that point of defense in this opening pistol round. That Dart going to get some good info. Red kills their teammate Determined Fear. That's going to be a big help to this rotation from Mindbaker, who finds one. Still threatening the sides here of this team as the rest of AESIR comes to Eternity comes to reinforce. Dynamite now has to clutch to keep this momentum going for Eternity, or AESIR might have a foot back in the door here. A nice rotation from Solo, going to pinned up, pinching Dynamite between the two alive, Hotline and Solo there, and 6-2, map 2. Closer and closer to that map point, and us going to a third map. But drink in the KDs.
Got one.
Nice pickup there. Hotline very quickly finding the ace, who has been the standout shooter for Eternity. A knife coming in from Bent. They'll get picked off on that short corner. With heels on the back line. Oh, anti-contextual will catch red. What is the play for Eternity? On the defense, 3 players swing inside. Nice over the top damage done. Big damage connection there. And a nice drop down that doesn't catch Determined Fear off guard. Ready and waiting, and with a sight open for the Siphon, Mindbaker well off of sight, obviously, covering the other entry point on B. Has to now rotate A. Just saw shots coming down long hallway here. They're going to continue to push up regardless. Ultimately, not a lot of options. Yeah, the knife's certainly not going to work, and that is a 7-2 map to AESIR. I'm looking at the matchup history. I'm looking at our stats, and none of it makes any. None of it means anything. The stats don't matter. Is what we're learning here this afternoon. Bedrock, they lost to Eternity, their best map. Depot, they're winning against Eternity, their worst map. Good dash shot from Hotline. Good opener for AESIR, getting aggressive here with the ult. Ace able to find the refrag and over the top, a 1-for-1. No, Hotline in red. We're into a 3-for-3 now. Mindbaker still alive as Blade respawns. And on the attack, AESIR trying to push up. They'll find anti-contextual. Allows them this site pretty confidently. Oh, but that's a good refrag. Makes it a 2-2. The big swing out and another connection. Damnite with a double kill. Siphon doesn't go down. And in a 1v2, Solo again finds themselves solo on site. Static down, long angle here. Hell, Dynamite goes to half HP, Solo to 1. No heals available, no armor regeneration in store for them. Frankly, I'm not quite sure there's a route where they get this Siphon down, and so maybe the best play is to just try and survive in this back corner. And I can't believe they managed to get off site. They don't end up just defending that back end. They do manage to get out of a site. And I got to imagine Dynamite and Mindbaker are a little confused, but they're allowing the eco and taking the round win.
Bye phase.
Map 3, just within reach for AESIR. And maybe it's what Eternity need, a reset off of not performing as maybe well as they were anticipating on their preferred map.
Start.
Dart. Get some good info. Push coming in here. A nice swing. Good refrag over the top, 1-for-1, and back and forth we go until Solo's alone in a 1v2 now after finding a nice frag, but with almost no HP. This might be another minute.
My poor pylon.
Or a rotation A for a siphon plant? Yeah, what a good rotation coming in. Gets the siphon, puts the onus on the retake from Eternity. And now the job is to honestly let them get half of it defused. Just survive. Force them into the zone. I think it could get pinched from that angle there. This is a good rotation in on both ends. Ready for the in corner defense from Solo, and with enough time left.
Siphon
Defenders
defused.
A
win.
good defuse coming in from Eternity.
Match point.
And we had this issue with AESIR
Bye phase.
in map 1, where they could not lock in a victory, and it allowed Eternity to claw their way back. We are on map point, but Eternity are clawing their way back. 3 points away from us going to overtime again for map 2. Reminder, map 1 went 10-8 with Eternity winning it. Arguably the underdogs, but in this case, maybe the only team that can challenge AESIR to this capacity. Nice vault up over the top from Mindbaker, and their ult allows them for the respawn. Determined Fear does catch Bent, but Mindbaker will vault up over and not find anyone.
Defenders win.
Eternity put up another incredibly fast point on the board. Continue to chip away at AESIR here. Not a lot of hope. In the AESIR camp right now, at least, Eternity are 4 points away from taking this series, advancing through into the next round of the winners bracket. They'll be going up against the winner of Eclipse versus Wrecked, so that team not going to be easy either. Ranked 2 and 3 in the regular season. This is ranked 4 coming in from Eternity. Man, what a tremendous game we have here this afternoon. Eternity are fighting every inch. AESIR are having such a hard time with these early kills. That ult finds nothing, and then quickly runs right into a bit of some fire.
Siphon secured.
Determined Fear at finally finding a frag. But this has got to be Eternity feeling confident, maybe overconfident. Determined finds another onto the ace. Good swing. Solo with a really nice shot onto Bent as AESIR finally back on top, at least on the kill feed. This could be a huge pinch. Oh, they're ready for it, and it's not timed up just quite right. Down goes Mindbaker, and Blade is alone. Or excuse me, Dynamite's alone. Mindbaker finds Blade. Sorry. Dynamite peeks out, finds one. Siphon's going down behind the smoke wall. And gets done in time. A little dome, gonna force a swing in, and oh, they play with it! Dynamite trying to find Blade and can't. So close. If they had kicked that off, that would have been huge, but AESIR say we're not done yet. We're getting a third. MVP of the series is Hotline. And there's your kill feeds. The 4 players drop out, and we give that victory screen to AESIR. Map 2 on Depot of all places ends up going to AESIR's hands, and it's got to be, in my mind, AESIR stepping up to the task, coming off of a reset, preparing for a map they did not perform well on against Eternity last season. Hydration. Excuse me. Whew. This series has me going. Got 2 more weekends left. Every single weekend has been postseason for VRML. And every single weekend I have been casting. I do apologize for that interruption. Should be getting ready for map 3. Should be quick on our 3rd map. Unless, of course, Eternity want to take us into a timeout. Where do we go from here? The best maps for each team have been chosen. The best maps for each team have been lost. Neo Yakuza, Nautica, and Midtown. And I'm seeing what our 3rd map is right here. Does look like we are going to Midtown, which is very much the middle point of both of these teams' preferred maps. Right there with Bedrock for Eternity. Midtown shares a similar win rate, but they've played it far more. In comparison, AESIR, one of their less successful maps, but still above 50% win rate. When you're 10-1, all your percentages are going to look pretty good because you don't have a lot of losses. So I think that AESIR lost on Depot, anticipating Eternity would pick into it in this postseason based off of how they performed, and they practiced on Depot to be ready for postseason. Because AESIR looked good there. They were in control the entire map except for those last few rounds. But they locked in the win, 8-5. And now we head to our 3rd and final map of the afternoon with little delay. Map number 3, like I said, going to be taking us to Midtown. And I think we have AESIR on the attack. AESIR on the attack. And Eternity on defense. So map number 1 here this afternoon. Three. Wow. Where are we? This isn't round robin. Hey, this isn't the round robin. Where am I? It's time for AESIR to rally, though, in our final map of the day in this incredible best of 3. Quite frankly, this is probably, could be, a look into what we will have at VRMLCon if both of these teams qualify through. Because if Eternity lose or AESIR lose, they go to the loser's bracket where they can still win through to the loser's bracket to rematch or fight against whoever wins through the winner bracket. Shutting down that dart from getting any details, any info. Does enable them to push up pretty confidently here through this backside towards A. And we got fighting across the board. The pinch on the A side's coming in. Oh, and Bent and Red, this finding the respective kills, tucking in under sight. As Determined Fear and Solo try to make something happen here. German Fear getting picked up solo, trying to swing for the triple. They'll get picked off in eternity. Start with a 1-0 lead here on map 1. See a bunch of folks in chat hanging out, tuning in, and I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much, and do please allow me some moments of rest. Where it might be a little bit quiet, because I am alone here this afternoon, but these teams aren't alone as they push in together. A full squad advancing through. Hotline opening things up, cracking the turtle shell. Trying to make turtle soup out of this eternity squad. I don't know if that's legal anymore. I don't know. Something my grandpa used to do. 2 picked up. And Ante catches 1. Their position given away. A great static to slow them down and trap them into a 4-player trifecta or whatever it was. Not a lot of hope of surviving it, as Mindbaker now is alone in a 1v4 with AESIR
Siphon planted.
saying, hey, just because you got that early round doesn't mean we're going to give you 2-0 like every other series has gone.
Attackers win. Bye phase.
Siphon acquired.
Start.
Ult coming out. Dark coming out. No info really getting picked up here. Counter ult comes in. Interesting to see it used so early. But the firefight does break out just a touch. Damage done on the hotline there on the swing out as the ace tries to fly in and realizes there's an entire team here ready to defend. Solo finds another kill on the other side, and it's up to Ante, Bent, and Dynamite to defend against what is a confident AESIR team barreling forward here. Red will gain them site control. Scanner will come down. Blade gets rid of anti-context, and Bent's alone in a 1v4 retake, and AESIR comes storming in with a quick 2 points off the back of a rough pistol start. Bent finds a nice double to get things back in control. And, well, we've seen some big kills come in today already, so it's not surprising if Bent can find a quad red this afternoon. Well, it would be surprising, but it's not off the table. They have 100 HP. They have 100 armor. Going up against full HP. Oh, no. 1v1 now. Great static. Solo tries to work with it. Good zoning done by Bent as well. Armor gone, and Bent on the short corner cannot succeed against Solo in the 1v1. And what a wild series this is. These two teams, man, they got such a good understanding of this game, and it's so fun to watch them fight for every round and fight for that chance to advance in through the next round in the winner's bracket. If you are tuning in and you don't know what you're watching, this is X8.
Start.
It is a hero shooter, much like Valorant. Oh, Ace catches one, quickly gets tagged. No, still alive, swings out for a double. Don't know what the camera's doing, but we missed out on Ace picking up more kills before Red was left alone in a 1v3.
Defenders win.
Nice pickup there, coming in as Eternity get back on the board
Bye phase.
with a good hold, shutting down the momentum from AESIR. If you're Eternity, you gotta focus back to when you went into overtime and won map 1, 10-8. That energy, that momentum leading you into that next map, you need to carry that here in map 3. AESIR definitely have a bit of steam, but I do think it's been depleted a bit with that last round in particular, shutting down the runaway 2-0 train. What a slow round here. A hush across the battlefield, really, as we do finally get into some utility coming out the dart, identifying some locations. Good zoning coming in, though, and Determined just going to fight in the static. They'll go down. Solo catches one. A quick refrag from Mindbaker, though, and Eternity are back in control. Back in the lead. Back up 3-2. Competing for a chance to knock AESIR down into the loser's bracket and deliver them their second loss all season long. AESIR here fighting for the rematch that they've been looking for all season. The only team they've lost to all season. I imagine they don't want it to happen again, but it's dangerously close. The first half almost done, and the lead in Eternity's hands as we get into round 6.
Start.
And a good shutdown of Hotline there from Bent. Hotline does clear out some defenders, but the repeak devastating from Mindbaker. With 4 left alive, Eternity ought to tuck in, have that 1-point lead. Overextension could allow for AESIR to chip away. Any context catches a little bit of damage done on the red there. But they have made it across the A intersection and into the ace. Determined catching context on the back, but Ace catches red as well, and it leaves just 1 left alive on the AESIR team here on the attacking half. B site could get pushed, but A, I think, would be the easier siphon plan. The question is, where is the siphon? Is it in Determined Fear's hands? With 79 HP, do they have enough? 100 and 100 on the armor. Definitely a lot to get through here for Determined. Not going to be ready for the quick peek around the corner either, and it's a 2-point lead. The half could go strongly into the hands of Eternity if they have anything to say about it on the defense. But, like we've been seeing, those early attacking rounds, getting a couple on the board could be enough for AESIR. Enables them to bounce back, gives them more opportunities, more rounds. Puts, obviously, your opponent farther away from map and series point because this is a best of 3 and this is our final map of the day.
Start.
Oh, and a good read. Coming in there. Dynamite recognizing red on the rotation very nicely. And Mindbaker getting rid of Blade. Huge. Solo with a refrag on Bent. Might maybe even bigger here. 3-3 though, and B-side still defended. Siphon hasn't gone down yet. There it is, as they do have a little bit more of site control. Do a good swing from Determined to catch another kill. That's down off the Dynamite in a 1v3. Siphon down. Ooh, they definitely were spotted on that peak from Determined. And here comes the full team push onto the corner. That could have gone wrong in a hurry. But it doesn't, and AESIR fight back. The half doesn't go wholeheartedly into Eternity's hands, and that could be a bad thing. As we swap sides, Eternity attacks, AESIR defend. We don't change colors, but the teams have changed sides. Nice opener there for Bent, catching Solo. Ult comes out. From any contextual, the whole team barreling forward up to sight. Mindbaker finds a nice kill onto Red. Determined goes down from Ace. And Eternity steamroll into B site. Blade alone with a pistol in hand. Trying to connect, but can't now. A 1v5. The opening round of this half going very much into Eternity's favor. But they can't find all the shots they need, and
Bye phase.
well, that's another point. Onto Eternity's half 5-3. Huge lead for Eternity right now. The underdogs, arguably, of the day, but I don't know. Not really necessarily. I think this matchup may be the most even matchup. If anything, Eternity, the favorites today against AESIR, because they are the only team that has defeated them all season long. If you're just tuning in, you've missed an amazing series of X8 between these two teams. Map 1 going to overtime, 10-8. Into Eternity's hands. Map 2, 5-8 to AESIR, and Map 3 unfolding to be an exciting back and forth as we get into this later round, the early rounds of the second half. That knife coming so close. They will rotate in, though, past this defense that was here, no less than... It does prompt the push out from Hotline. They're going to run into a static, though. That'll slow them down. Dart gets a little bit of info. Oh, and Blade opening things up for the entry. There's a good peek. Hotline finds 2. AESIR right in this one. We could be heading to overtime, quite frankly, for our final map of the afternoon at this pace. 5-4. Oh boy.
Phase.
Oh boy, here we go. Map 3 delivers. This entire series delivers. This is the best X8 series I've had the opportunity of tuning into and watching. I know the teams have been playing really competitively all season long, but I haven't been able to watch a lot of X8. And so for me to be able to tune into this on a Wednesday afternoon, a Wednesday night, an amazing battle here back and forth, a solid 2 hours plus of X8. It's exactly what I've been wanting out of this league. It's exactly what I've been wanting out of the VRML, and I'm so happy that these teams are here to apply this level of competitiveness to this game. It's really fun to watch these squads battle it out, and man, Map 3 is definitely delivering on a fun series to tune into here. So try and zip over to Solo tucked in. Ult comes out from any context. They're going to try and work forward, but a good bit of zoning done there. Shuts down that fast push. Onto site. Another ult comes in. Chips away damage onto Mindbaker on the back, and Solo is here for a 1-for-1 trade, forcing the rest of this offense into a bit of a pinch, and it puts Ace alone now. Catches the respawn of the ult from Blade. Can't get hotline, or can't get, does get Eternity with a, what was that, a Quadra? Two points away from advancing into the next round of the winners bracket. Eternity looking to deliver AESIR their second loss all season long in X8.
Start.
Outmatched.
Great teamwork coming in here. Overwhelming AESIR right now. Determined Fear trying to slow down this pace because it is fast. A little bit of zoning done there. Now has knife in hand, ready for that close quarters engagement. Doesn't end up coming, and Solo alone on this swing. Might end up running to the entire team solo.
Siphon planted.
Oh, and they'll go down to the duo of Bent and Mindbaker and Eternity.
By phase.
One round away from advancing on into the winners bracket. AESIR won't be done yet. This is the winners bracket. We're in a double elimination tournament, so AESIR will get knocked down to the losers bracket. Could get knocked down to the losers bracket if they lose this map here. If they lose this round.
Start.
We'll see some of those matches get played out this weekend. I don't know if we'll get to the loser. Yeah, I think we will get into the losers bracket matchup, so we should see AESIR play again this weekend. Or Eternity if they end up losing here this afternoon. Nice quick reaction, getting rid of that zoning piece in the middle there. Good swing from Bent to catch Determined Fear down. Sighting control of Eternity. 3v5 for AESIR.
Siphon planted.
They have to work together and overcome the odds here. But it's going to be a tall order. That ult hurts. Everything's stinging for this AESIR team.
Down for good.
Ult allowing the respawn. Hotline trying to find some picks. They'll pick up one. Red finds another, but they'll go down to a double from any context in the ace. We'll find the final kill Eternity will take down AESIR for the second time all season long and give them their second loss. The ace, the MVP, and the victory into Eternity's hands for the series in this best of 3. Wow. What a battle we have caught this afternoon between some of the best teams in the region. You can expect more of this weekend. We have ranked 2 and 3 battling it out in the winner's bracket. The loser goes down to the loser's bracket. Then it's ranked 2 and 3 potentially versus ranked. I mean, it's going to be insane in the loser's bracket with those matchups. A lot to look forward to. A lot to look forward to this weekend. This is the precursor. We have Eclipse and Wrecked, and then the loser of this matchup, so AESIR, going up against Rakuzen, and the loser of Eclipse and Wrecked going up against Heaven's Garden. That's what's in store this weekend. I think we may also get into some of the we may do the semifinals and losers round 3. That may be next weekend. I think that's Sunday. I think that's Saturday of not this weekend, but the weekend after. Regardless, a lot of good X8 coming up ahead of us, and ultimately, maybe we'll see a rematch between these two teams at VRML Con, and if we do, that'll be guaranteed a good one. But no matter what, if this is the competition level at rank 4, I can't wait to see Eclipse and Wrecked this weekend battling it out. That's going to be an amazing matchup. We're in store for a lot of good X8 ahead of us. That'll be it for me, though, on the afternoon. I'll be signing off here. A shout out to everyone's tuning in. A shout out to our sponsors, Third Verse, for supporting us with $1,000 in cash and flying out our North American finalists, the top 2 teams to play their grand finals live on stage. That's only possible because of Third Verse's sponsorship, so a big shout out to them. Shout out to HyperX and ProTube for supporting the VRML, and that's all I got for us this afternoon. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button on the stream. Tune in this weekend for more action. We'll have those thumbnails going up soon. But until then, stay classy. VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.